All right, here we go. We are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics, and I got a really good comic book haul. A lot of newer stuff that I am starting to invest in or take the chance in. So these might be books you might want to think about adding to your collection. Obviously, get the ones that you love and what makes you most happy, but also keep in mind, sometimes when it comes to investments, if you buy something you don't like, that you know that will potentially get you some good money in the long run, it makes it a lot easier to trade or sell them because you're not attached to them. So don't always necessarily invest in things you absolutely love, because it makes it a lot harder when it comes time to sell or trade them. So that's why I always say get multiple copies, so even if it's a comic you do love, you could trade one or sell one and still have it. So there's always methods to my madness. One thing I want to announce while I'm waiting for people to come in is the cashback program that I mentioned actually updated, and is giving a bigger cashback bonus. It is now, if you spend $25 within the first 90 days, you will get a $25 cashback bonus. It was at $20. So an extra $5, hey, that's, an extra gallon and a half of gas in your car. And all you have to do is click on the link that I provided in the live chat. It's also in the description. And if you click on it and spend, like I said, $25 within the first 90 days of any of their sponsored affiliates, you will get that $25 cashback bonus. So go sign up for that if you haven't. And if you have, if you could share the link, it definitely helps my channel. So thank you for that. All right, so we see you have enough people in. 7 people already hit the like button. Thank you so much for that. I always appreciate those that make the effort to show that they appreciate my work and sharing comics with you. And that's one of the benefits of comic hauls. There are some people out there that think, oh, people do comic hauls because they're trying to brag about comics. And some might be just doing that. I do it so this way I can share what I'm investing in. So I may show a comic you've never seen before or never thought about, or basically got reminded of, that you should be potentially investing in stuff. Now, of course, if you're collecting them to read them or you love the artwork, there is really no wrong way, so don't worry about what anybody else thinks. But always keep in mind, if you are investing in anything, there are always risks involved, so I want to make sure I always mention that, so people on my channel are aware of that. Sometimes prices can go up and down. You have to be very calm in these kind of markets. Sometimes when prices go down, instead of panicking, that's the time to buy. And when you see them skyrocket, sometimes that's the time to sell. It will fluctuate. So that's why I always tell people, make sure you research, you do your homework, you know what you're investing in. That will give you a much better success rate than somebody who just watches a YouTube channel or just buys random comics and knows nothing about them. So I want to educate my subscribers and viewers so they get the best opportunity. Now, of course, if you're just buying comics because you love to read them, or if you love to look at them, then it doesn't really matter. But in the long run, why spend more on something if you don't have to? So with that out of the way, let's start getting into some of the comics in this comic haul. If you saw the video yesterday, you will have seen this book. I'm getting a couple of different copies, so I am going to be taking the chance on this book as something that might be a success. It has 2 different directions it'll go. This is Secret Wars issue number 3. This is 2 appearances. That's the first Volcana, but the one that I am buying it for is the first New Titania, and that is the main villain of SheHulk. Now, SheHulk is going to get a TV show, and that does not guarantee she will be the villain. But I would not be shocked if she wasn't involved. This is a newsstand variant, so I'm trying to invest more in newsstand variants these days because there is starting to see a separation, especially when it comes to newer books. Now, when it comes to Bronze Age newsstands, that does not necessarily mean they are rare. So like I say, make sure you do your research, because a Bronze Age book, remember, there weren't as many comic stores back then, so it would have been more likely you would have found them on the newsstand at some store. But always keep in mind, if you have a very high-grade newsstand variant, that's the rarer part. So even in Bronze Age, newsstands could be worth something, especially if you're getting them in 9.4, 9.6, 9.8s. Because if you ever saw the old racks like at 7-Eleven or local stores, they'd flop all over the place. People would take them and read them and put them back, and they'd be bent all over the place. So make sure, like I say, you know what you're investing in. Oh, let me tell you the price I paid. This one's easily $9.4 to $9.8. Actually, no. Now that I see, there is a non-color breaking crease, so a pressing could help it. So I would reduce it to a 9.0 to a 9.4. But still, this has a lot of potential. I paid a total of $13 for this book. So if that villain ends up in the She-Hulk TV show, it's definitely worth it paying those prices. So you can get them for $25 and down. This is one, I just bought it for the cover. There are people who like these kind of comics. I'm not really normally into them, but I figured you never know, it might be worth the chance. This is Cherry Pop Tart issue number 2. This is technically a reprint of the original Cherry Pop Tart number 2. This is the regular cover, and this is the Virgin cover, so you could say it's a little different. So it's minorly risque, but that's not showing anything graphic, so I paid $25 each. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Figured I'd take the chance, you never know. It's not normally the comics I buy. This one, I really love the cover of this one. There was one that's a little bit more valuable, but just this one, I like the artwork. So this is Carnage versus, Gwen versus Carnage, issue number 2. We got the regular, and we got the Virgin variant. I got a couple of copies of these. I paid $20 a piece. Who knows if there's anything valuable. I bought these specifically for the artwork. I just like the artwork. And if you do too, that might be something to get. This is one, we'll see if it maintains its speed. It's been kind of decreasing a little bit, but still hot book. This is Daredevil 25. This is one of the second print variants. The regular cover and the Virgin variant. I paid $20 for the regular cover and $25 for the Virgin variant. I think this is Phil Cho that did these, but I'm not sure. And bad job on... I bought these from Golden Apple Comics. I just noticed this. There is an indent along the spine here that doesn't break color, so pressing would help it. But, I mean, that's why, one of the reasons why I recommend Southside Comics all the time. They never have stuff like that happen. So there is a crease all the way up and down this comic. Luckily, it's the regular variant and not the Virgin. But yeah, that's a bad job, especially when I'm paying those prices for that book. But it is what it is. It's another one that I bought a little while ago. This is the Future State Batman number 1. This is the variant where they reveal his face. Got a couple of copies of this. Spent only $20. We'll see what happens to it. Of course, DC is trying to, you know, catch up with what Marvel's been doing with characters like Miles Morales. I don't know if it'll work, but time will tell. If you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, that's great as well. You are allowed to have a difference of opinion. I figured to take a chance on it for what the going price was at the time. $20 for that variant. Not bad. We'll see what happens. Alright, this one I got in a set. I got the complete run, but I'm not going to show them all. I'll just show the first couple. So we got Sensational She-Hulk. This is issue number 3. Newsstand variant. Again, that doesn't guarantee it's rare because that is Bronze Age. Number 2, which is from a comic book store. I also got not the complete run, like the major other She-Hulks, the bikini ones, they're not included in this. But this is a newsstand variant of the Sensational She-Hulk. So this one's a little bit rarer because this is Copper Age. And then a very high grade Savage She-Hulk. Now I bought this set probably 2019, 2020, so I've had these in a box for all this time. So I paid a grand total, like I said, it's a complete set of the Savage She-Hulk, so issue 1 through 25. Most of them are, I think all of them but issue number 2 are news, and number 1 are all newsstand variants. So it's just 1 and 2 aren't. But this is easily 9.4 to 9.8 potential. Well, 9.4 to 9.6, maybe 9.8. Because there's a tiny, tiny, tiny little dent. Barely. It's not a rounded corner, but it's not pointy sharp. So I don't know if you could still get a 9.8 with that. But even still, I paid $2.43 per comic. So just these two alone make what I bought for the entire thing worth it. So definitely She-Hulk is a book you should be investing in. Alright, next up. I always thought I had this book, but I did not, but I added it to my collection now. It's about a 9.4 grade. There is a minor little color break increase, so it might get a 9.6. But I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures, issue number 1. This is the first Bebop and Rocksteady. Two major characters. I mean, if you've ever played the video game, you know, those are definitely characters in the games and definitely prominent in the movies. Well, at least the first series I liked. That, well, hard to say. It was actually kind of corny, and the latest version were just, you know, it is what it is. So I guess the cartoon versions were much better. There is a pressable damage on the back cover, and there is a slight, right there, right at the tip, slight color break increase. I paid $100 for this book, so I think that's a pretty good deal for that one. Next up, starting to invest a little bit more of this. I have a 9.8 signed I bought years ago for about $150, but I have a couple of copies of this. This is a newsstand variant of Secret Wars number 8, which of course is the first costume. It's not first Venom, because the costume will eventually become Venom. But this is definitely a book that if you don't have, get it soon, because they will be doing, in my opinion, Secret Wars. Now, whether they do it the way they do it in the comics, who knows, because Civil War wasn't that close to the comics, and Infinity War was kind of like the comics. But this one looks like about a 8.5 to 9.2 range, which isn't bad, especially for a newsstand variant. I only paid $85 for this. So I think that is definitely worth it, especially when, well, I'll say if, because nothing's guaranteed until it comes out, that they'll be doing Secret Wars. That book is, you know, it's going to definitely go up. Speaking of which, this one already has a movie just waiting to come out. This has 9.8 potential on it. I have several of these. I bought several when I was a kid for cover price. One of them came back CGC 9.6, and I did not get it pressed, so I may crack that open. I'll have to see. But we have Amazing Spider-Man number 361. This is the first print. Newsstand variant. And this one, I looked at the back. It could use a pressing, because it does have a non-color breaking crease that a pressing could absolutely fix. So with a pressing, this has 9.8 potential on it. Without the pressing, it's probably about a 9.4. I paid $107.99 for this book. I think that is a really good deal these days for this book. So definitely, as you could see, I'm starting to get more into newsstand variants because we are starting to see a separation. Alright, so 2 more books. Don't forget to wait until the end, because I always do a surprise subscriber shout out, and you have to be in the live chat. You don't have to be a subscriber, but you do have to be in the live chat. Make sure you hit that like button. 13 people out of 38 have hit the like button. I got 2 more books, definitely key books to be considering. And the new cash back bonus is now $25. So if you spend $25 or more after you sign up by clicking the link, you spend $25 within the first 90 days, you'll get a $25 bonus. It used to be $20, so they've upped it a little bit. So click on that link, and let's show the last 2 books. I've definitely been investing more of this. I got 2 of these the day they came out. This is probably about a 7.5, which normally I wouldn't get for this book. But Movie's going to be coming out soon. So this is probably my 6th or 7th copy of this book. New Mutants 98. It does have some spine damage that breaks color, but it is signed by Rob Liefeld with his chicken scratch. This is not a newsstand variant, but Deadpool books have been rising dramatically. I mean, just 3 or 4 months ago, a 9.8 was about $800. Now it's about $2,800. So this book is definitely starting to see its rise, which makes sense because he is going to be in the MCU, and once they make it official where he's going to debut, I mean, this book is just going to continue to skyrocket. So prices are starting to get up there, but it's worth getting, in my opinion. Like I said, this is about a 7.5, 7.0 to 8.0 range. It's signed by Liefeld. I've seen his chicken scratch signature. Doesn't come with a certificate of authenticity, but I've seen it before. I paid only $300 for this book. Not a bad price. That book is going to continue to rise. Last but not least, this will be included in next month's 4 comics that are going to be sent out. This has 9/8 potential written all over it. I had several of these. I still have them when I was a kid, but I didn't have this. This is Spawn number 1. So you'll think, alright, big deal. There's lots of Spawn number 1s. But this is the newsstand variant. This has 9/8 potential. The seller said it was about a 9.0 to a 9.4. I can understand why some seller would probably do that, because if they said it was a 9.8 and it didn't come back a 9.8, somebody might complain and they might have to give their money back. But I looked at this book up and down, front and center. I did not see one color break increase, one problem. I paid a grand total of $110 for this book. If you can find yourself a very high grade Spawn number 1 newsstand, I highly recommend getting this book. There is going to be a Spawn movie. Again, until it happens, nothing is guaranteed. But with the whole situation that's going around in the world, things have been delayed, so people forget about these things. But there is going to be a Spawn movie. Well, there is supposed to be a Spawn movie. But this is, and yes, Trading Card Guy, we are definitely live. This is a newsstand variant with a 9.8 potential. So I think I might switch the book that I originally picked for this month's myself and switch it with this one. I would love to see this. This comes back at 9.8. I will definitely be a happy camper. So, again, Spawn number 1, you think it's no big deal, but the newsstand variants are pretty darn rare, especially in high grade. So, if you could find that book, I would recommend getting it. So those are the comics. Let me know what you think. 20 people out of the 39, so about half the people viewing, were kind enough to hit that like button. Thank you so much for that. Let's pick today's surprise subscriber shoutouts. Again, you do not have to be a subscriber, but hopefully I will earn your subscription at some point. We're going to go with JSALSA23, and we're going to go with Papa Ken, the comic book dad. You are both, and we'll do one more. It came from the Nerd Cave. So all 3 of you are going to be today's surprise subscriber shoutouts. If you have a YouTube channel, you can post the link in the description, well, in the comment section. If you don't have that, or you prefer to share a link to one of your social networks, you can do that. And if you don't have that, if you sell on eBay, Etsy, Amazon, any of those places, and you want to share one of your sales auctions, by all means, please do. Just keep in mind that all links do have to be approved first, so it will not show up right away, because I have to make sure it's not anything inappropriate. I don't want anybody promoting the sale of, like, for example, adult toys. That's not the kind of audience I have, and I have kids that could watch these, so I will verify them. So if you're one of the people that browses the comment section and you see a link, it means it has been We Love Comics approved. If you're one of my power viewers or ultra power viewers, let it be known in the comment section. Make your voices heard. Take the time to place a comment. I respond to every single comment, unless it's like some stupid, nasty comment. Then I just delete it. I don't even bother responding to those anymore. But I respond to every comment. I always make sure I thumb it up and I put a little heart next to it. So if you like that kind of stuff, come on in and leave a comment. Thank you to all the people in the live chat. Let me know what you thought about this comic haul. I got plenty of videos. I got plenty of comics, as you see in the background, or you did see in the background. You see some of the boxes that I have yet to open. Some of them still are from New York before I moved to Florida. So don't ask me why I don't open them, but that's just how it is. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Go check out some of my other videos. Hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give our shout-outs a shout-out. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is we love comics.